actually had to work today, which means that it's 3:30 and I've barely started this guy. But I chose this book for this day specifically because it's really short and also easy to read and something that I'm very interested in reading. So I should be able to really get through this quickly this afternoon. But it is 3:30 and I'm only 14 pages in, I think. I am going to settle down now to read probably as much of this as possible before this evening, because I want to just, speed through it. And so far what I've read, the first 15 pages, is really excellent. So I am excited to keep reading this. Other than that, I have not done anything today except just work, and I had to edit the last 2 days because I had no time during those 2 days to do anything except read those books. Today I edited, I did my other work, and now I'm going to read this one, which today's theme is read the first book you touch, I think. This one was kind of funny because I didn't have any way to, randomly choose, the first book that I touched. So I just, mentally, the first book I thought of was what I chose, which is sort of cheating because I just chose a short book that I want to read. But that's, that's part of the fun of it. I'm having a good time reading this. I'm going to keep reading it. Hopefully get through a big chunk of it before this evening, which is what I'm going to do now. So that's my update. I don't know. Things have gone off the rails just a little bit, and we have some catching up to do. It's really dark in here, but I don't know how to make it any lighter. So, 2 days ago, I read Into the Wild, and I did finish it that day and everything. I just never said anything about it. I don't know why. But I really liked it. It was much sadder than I anticipated it to be. I think I didn't know as much about it going in as I thought I did. So I was a little bit taken aback by how sad it actually is, because I wasn't expecting that, but I really liked it. I thought it was really well written. I thought the story was emotional, adventurous, everything that I wanted it to be. My one complaint is that the author, John Krakauer, puts 2 chapters in that are about his life and experience in Alaska that, to me, didn't really seem that related to the rest of the story. And so I found it a little unnecessary, and maybe, it should have been its own thing and not in this book. That's my only complaint. It didn't, completely derail the story. I just was kind of oh, why are we talking about your camping trip now? But I did really like this. I gave this a 4 out of 5, which I feel like I've given every single book in this reading rush. But what can I say? It's a 4 out of 5. Liked it. Okay, now, yesterday, for the challenge of reading a book completely outside of your house, I did that. I read Fahrenheit 451. I did read it outside, as you saw, in the 2 parks that are near my partner's house, and this was also a 4 out of 5. Really liked it. I think it would have been a 5 out of 5 if it didn't have all of the hype that Fahrenheit 451 has, that I've heard about, that I know about. I know I'm late to the game to read this classic, but I did feel like my expectations were a little bit higher than what it actually delivered, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, although I did think it was great. I also, it was 194 pages, and usually I don't complain about a book being brief. Usually I think that books go on for too long. This book could have used some more expansion, So I did like this, 4 out of 5. Great time, really recommend it. If you haven't already read it, which is not very likely, but yeah, reading in the park was great. I struggled a little bit towards the end because I was really sitting in the park for a long time, but I really like reading outside. I go read in the park all the time anyways, so it was a good time for me. Okay, now that brings us to today, which is the day that you're supposed to read a book in a genre that you want to read more of. And today I was going to be reading The Bell Jar. And now you'll notice that I said I was going to be reading this book, and that, folks, is not happening. I had a little bit of burnout, I was reading I chose too many classics and too many literary works of high quality to read during this reading rush. And I'm tired. My brain is tired. So today, we are not reading with our eyes. We are reading with our ears. And I am listening to The Bluest by Toni Morrison, which is another great work of literary excellence. And I really like it so far. I'm glad that I was still able to choose a book that sort of fits in this genre of books that I feel like I need to read, and authors that I feel like I have not read enough of. I've read one other Toni Morrison book, Sula, but I actually had to read that for school, my freshman year of college, and I don't like reading books for school. I've never liked reading books for school. Okay, I got cut off, but I think I was just in the middle of talking about The Bluest by Toni Morrison. Anyways, I'm reading it on audiobook. It still fits this genre of books that I feel like I should have read. Toni Morrison being an author that I feel like I should read more of. The Bluest, really liking it so far. I'm, about like halfway through, I think. It's very poetic. It's very well written. The experiences of the characters are beautiful. Somewhat sad. Definitely emotional. Having a great time, though. So, that's where we're at today. Needed a little bit of a break from my eyes. So, I will be reading The Bell Jar another time, but not today. And with that, I'm going to go and keep listening to The Bluest.